Italian football lover channel, my friends. Today I want to make predictions. Match day 4 games of EPL. You can subscribe to my channel, watch my videos. Please click the like button. Thank you so much. Let's start with Southampton Manchester United game. Southampton has no point in EPL after the first 3 games. They are in so bad situation now. They lost against 3-1 Brentford in last away game. They lost against 1-0 Newcastle in away game. They lost against Nottingham Forest 1-0 at home. In the last 5 games, Southampton couldn't get any victory against Manchester United. And at the same time, United won versus Southampton 1-0 in last away game. Manchester United lost against Brighton 2-1 in away game. They won versus 1-0 Fulham in first match at home. Manchester United is a stronger team than Southampton. They're in so bad situation now. Again, so hard clash is awaiting us. But this time I want to take a chance to Manchester United for victory. Southampton 0, Manchester United 1 is my prediction for this game. Second game, Liverpool Nottingham Forest off. Liverpool got a very good start to season. Really, Arne Slot is the new manager of Liverpool, and really Liverpool is so strong and quality team. They won versus 2-0 Brentford at home. They won against Ipswich Town 2-0 in away game. Nottingham Forest team got a good start to season. They won versus Southampton 1-0 in away game. They stayed draw against Wolverhampton and Bournemouth at home 1-1 with same results. They have 5 points now, but Liverpool is way more better team than Nottingham Forest. They will make the advantage of playing at home. They will win over against Nottingham Forest. Liverpool 2, Nottingham Forest 0 is my prediction for this game. Another game, Manchester City Brentford. Manchester City won all the first 3 games. Really, they are the strongest team of EPL. This is reality under the management of experienced and genius manager Guardiola. And Manchester City won versus 2-0 Chelsea in away game. They won against 3-1 West Ham United in last away game. They won versus 4-1 Ipswich Town at home. And Brentford team is playing better at home. They won versus Crystal Palace 2-1 at home. They won against 3-1 Southampton in last match at home, but they lost against 2-0 Liverpool in last away game. Last season Manchester City team won versus Brentford 1-0 at home. Sometimes Brentford force Manchester City, but this time Manchester City will win over against Brentford. Manchester City 3, Brentford 1 is my prediction for this game. Another game, Fulham West Ham United off. Fulham is playing better at home. They have 4 points now. They stayed draw against Ipswich Town 1-1 in last away game. Fulham won versus 2-1 Leicester City at home. They lost against 1-0 Manchester United in away game. West Ham United team really they lost against Aston Villa 2-1 at home. They lost against 3-1 Manchester City in last match at home. They have 3 points now. They won versus 2-0 Crystal Palace in away game. Fulham is playing better at home, but West Ham United is so dangerous team. In the last game, Fulham won versus West Ham 5-0 at home. But West Ham United is seeming little bit closer to victory. But I cannot underestimate and take for granted this Fulham team at home. Maybe West Ham United may win this game just by 1 goal difference. But my prediction is going to be draw for that match, my dear friends. Draw. Fulham 1, West Ham United 1. And another game, Crystal Palace Leicester City. Crystal Palace got a very bad start to season. They lost against Brentford 2-1 in away game. They lost against 2-0 West Ham United at home. And at the same time, Leicester City has just 1 point. They stayed draw against Tottenham at home 1-1. They lost against Aston Villa 2-1 in last match at home. Again, they lost against 2-1 Fulham in last away game. Again, so hard clashes awaiting us, my dear friends. Crystal Palace won versus Leicester City 2-1 in the last game at home. My dear friends, maybe this game may end up in draw. Please don't forget that draw is possible, but by a little margin. This time, in my opinion, Crystal Palace will make the advantage of playing at home, and they will win over against Leicester City after a challenging game. Crystal Palace 2, Leicester City 1 is my prediction for this game. Brighton, Ipswich Town. Brighton got an amazing start to season. They have 7 points. They stayed draw against strong opponent Arsenal 1-1 in away game. They won versus 3-0 Everton in away game. They won against 2-1 Manchester United at home. Ipswich Town has just 1 point. They are the new team of EPL. They stayed draw against Fulham 1-1 at home, but they lost against 4-1 Manchester City in away game. My dear friends, Brighton is way more better team than Ipswich Town, and in the last game Brighton and Ipswich Town ended up in 1-1 draw, but this time Brighton will win over against Ipswich Town. Brighton 3, Ipswich Town 1 is my prediction for this game. Aston Villa Everton. Aston Villa team is a really so quality team, but they lost against 2-0 Arsenal at home. Aston Villa won versus Leicester City 2-1 in last away game. In the last match, Everton won versus Aston Villa 2-1 in away game, but Everton has no point. They got a very poor, a very wretched start to season. They lost against 3-0 Brighton at home. They lost against 4-0 Tottenham in away game. Again, they lost against 3-2 Bournemouth in last match at home. They were 2-0 ahead, but really they conceded 2 goals in the additional minutes of the game. It was unbelievable, and they were so close to take points from Bournemouth, but again they lost against Bournemouth at home. They got me into big disappointment. Aston Villa is way more better team than Everton in every manner. They will win over against Everton. Aston Villa 2, Everton 0 is my prediction for this game. At Bournemouth, Chelsea. Bournemouth is going to be at home. They have 5 points. They stayed draw against Nottingham Forest 1-1 in away game. They stayed draw against 1-1 Newcastle United at home. They won versus 3-2 Everton in last away game. They were 2-0 down, but after they made an amazing comeback and won the game 3-2. In the last game played between of these two teams, Bournemouth-Chelsea game ended up in 0-0 draw, my dear friends. And Chelsea is going to be better this season than the last season in my opinion, but they lost against 2-0 Manchester City at home. They won versus 6-2 Wolverhampton in last away game. And this Chelsea team is stronger team than Bournemouth. And I feel in that way Chelsea will win over against Bournemouth. They will win over against Bournemouth. I count on Chelsea in this game. Bournemouth 1, Chelsea 3 is my prediction for this game. And Tottenham Arsenal. Tottenham is going to be at home. This is London derby. Tottenham is going to be at home. Last season Arsenal won versus Tottenham 3-2. Arsenal has 7 points. And this Tottenham team is playing better at home. They won versus 4-0 Everton at home. They stayed draw against Leicester City 1-1 in away game. Arsenal stayed draw against Brighton 1-1 in last match at home. Declan Rice saw the red card in the beginning of the second half, my dear friends. And Arsenal won versus 2-0 Aston Villa in last away game. Arsenal is stronger team than Tottenham, but so challenging, so demanding game is awaiting us, my dear friends. But in my opinion, after a hard clash, Arsenal is going to play for the title this season. Because of that, they will win over against Tottenham. Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 2 is my prediction for this game. At last match, Wolverhampton, Newcastle United. Wolverhampton is going to be at home. They got a very bad start to season. They have just 1 point. They lost against 6-2 Chelsea in last match at home. It was so frustrating defeat for Wolverhampton team. But they stayed draw against Nottingham Forest 1-1 in last away game. Newcastle got a mediocre start to season. They won versus 1-0 Southampton at home. They stayed draw against Bournemouth 1-1 in last away game. And at the same time, in the last game between Wolverhampton and Newcastle ended up in 2-2 draw last season. And Wolverhampton couldn't get any victory against Newcastle in the last 5 matches played between of these two teams. My dear friends, and again so hard clash is awaiting us, my dear friends. Newcastle is seeming little bit closer to victory. This is reality, but in my opinion Wolverhampton is going to be so ambitious to take points from this game. Because of that, my prediction is going to be draw for that match, my dear friends. Draw. Wolverhampton 1, Newcastle United 1. All my predictions like this match day 4 games of EPL. You can subscribe to my channel, watch my videos. You may write your comments down below. It makes me so glad. See you on my next videos, my dear friends. Bye!